Hello and welcome to my next Mobadan video. We have the new heroes and the new banner with a boosted beholder here. This is like the hero with the highest chance. Usually it's not like the most liked hero if you think about it, because you get him basically every time. But that's one of the new heroes. Trilbert is another one. And I just wanted to go over all of the new heroes and do my first impression rating. This is like kind of different than the other times before, because I like to take my time with the rest and with updating the tier list, because I have to test some heroes. But I still wanted to give you like my first impression rating, so you don't have to wait forever until I make my like final decisions, even though it's not final anyway. But yeah, let's go over the first guy here. It's the beholder, as I said, and he got decent base attack damage stats, and also he got his pretty nice passive, which will trigger if he takes AP damage or if an ally dies, and he basically gets Ionize. This is like a new buff, and we just have to go into the tavern for that. And you can see here, all hits are critical this turn, and this is pretty big because basically he's not an agility hero, which makes sense on his kit, to be honest. And if someone dies, he just gets a buff that he deals 100% crit chance damage, and he deals quite okay damage, or good damage even, so he's not that terrible. And in the rating I gave him, like, I just have to find him. Where is he? I think he's right here, there. So on boss fights I gave him 8.7. On PvE I gave him 9.0, maybe 8.9. I'm not so sure about that yet. And in PvP also 9.0. And the reason for that is, for boss fights I don't think it's so good, because he doesn't have like any single target or anything that is value for boss fights. But in PvE he deals quite good damage. I think PvE might be 8-9. I still think so. It's like a first turn good damage dealer, and after that it's not that good anymore. Although this is like pretty decent damage as well. But yeah, that's the rating for him. We have the Void Assassin. He's kind of tricky. I mean, I can't really explain how exactly he works, but he also have the same passive as the normal assassin basically, which is like the good thing about him. He also can receive Ionize, which makes him like, if he dies basically, he deals a ton of damage and he can heal himself back to full life. And yeah, he's really strong. I rated him pretty high now, 9.2 for bosses. Maybe I will even add a few numbers. I can't play him because I didn't get him, so that's like a big problem. 9.4 on PvE and 9.3 on PvP. I might add 0.1 numbers, as I said, to him if I somehow manage to play him, or others give feedback about him, or maybe he will stay at that rate. But yeah, he is like, if you have like double assassin like this guy and the other assassin, basically the one guy will kill something, then he will kill something, then the other will kill, and so on. And if he dies, he just revives, and if he's not stunned or something else, he just gets back to full life, and it's crazy. So pretty strong. Lucifer, we already had him. I already rated him, so no need to rate him. Mutzen as well. We already have her. She's like a shiny as well. You can now see which hero is like shiny, because they have lower percent. I think 3 shinies in a new banner is too much, by the way. Trilbert, like, the problem with Trilbert is he has pretty bad base stats. You can see he's a control, he's not defensive hero, so he will not deal that much damage. He's more like a bad Shroom Emperor, or Shroom Emperor, I would say. Like, this 80% damage is way too low, and like 50% chance to dispel one buff is also pretty bad. So I would rate him pretty low. I have him like right above swings, 8.4 on bosses, 8.8 in PvE, because his first attack can basically, he can do that all the time. That's like the best spell from him. And PvP like 8.6, maybe 8.5 in the future, because he's a tech hero. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of him, especially because of his bad base stats. He's not good. This guy is interesting. Hard to rank, to be honest, because he will have a passive, like this momentum stack is basically 5% defense for each stack. He can have up to 5 stacks. So he gets pretty tanky, and he got also like pretty decent base stat numbers. 949 defense on 50 is pretty okay, pretty good. And this passive here is nice because his primary basically is an AoE attack, which will deal like 100% to the first, 2 to adjustant, and 60 to the other unhit heroes. And so this is basically an AoE attack, which is like weaker to the other heroes, but this one also AoE attack. He gets a shield, he gets like, he can have like momentum. If he has like 5 stacks, he has Ionize in dungeons. He's really strong in dungeons, because after a few stacks he is just really crazy. The problem with him, of course, is in PvP you don't have that many rounds, and yeah, that's why he's not that good. But I have 8.9 on bosses because he's super tanky and so on. Maybe 8.8 in the future. 9.1 actually in PvE, especially because of dungeons. In normal PvE it's also okay or good. And PvP 8.7 because yeah, the PvP is way too short for that. And this one has no debuffs or something like that. But yeah, that's my first impression on him. Then we also have Isolda, was like a previous hero as well. By the way, a little note, I ranked down Arachnator because of the item rework, but I will talk about that later. Syntrix, unfortunately this hero, really bad base agility here thing, like he gives your team crit chance up, which is kind of nice. I think for her to be really that good, or she's shiny, so she's, for a shiny hero, I think the damage number must be higher. She will consume all the stacks and she only gives crit chance up. So I'm not really happy about her. I don't think she's that good. I tested her out a little bit, I even aligned her, and yeah, I don't think she's that strong. So I ranked her 8.5 bosses, 8.7 PvE and 8.6 PvP. She's agility at least to the best thing. I think that she's agility, but for shiny, not too happy. Like this guy is pretty interesting. If you have like a sick hero who makes sick to all the enemies, this guy hits like a truck. Also he has this irradiate on him, which basically deflects, is like a buff for your team, and it reflects the damage received as true damage to the attacker. This is pretty big for PvP and also boss fights in PvE, because the bosses are so overscaled that they will deal a lot of damage, and if you can just reflect that, he gets pretty strong. So I ranked him pretty high. 8.8 bosses, might change that to 8.9. 9 on PvE and 9 also on PvP. So pretty strong for an epic hero. The problem why he's not better in like boss PvE ranking and so on, because he has no poison and so. But he can have def up. And as I said, the only reason why he's so good in the boss rating is because of the damage reflect. And then we have this guy, Volinator. Like also a pretty good epic hero. He basically gives you def up crit resist for 2 turns for your whole team. And he also gives him and one other guy blessed and preservation for 1 turn, which is like crazy buffs, crazy amount of buffs for the team. He heals himself, he will not deal that much damage, he can also stun, so he's a pretty good epic hero. Like, I ranked him pretty low, I would say, because of PvP he's not that useful, but 8.8 on bosses because he can also stun, 9 in PvE. Maybe I will change it to 9.1, but I think 9 is fine, and 8.7 in PvP. He's not, of course, he's like defense hero. Defense heroes in PvP will always not be that good. So in the overall rating, he doesn't seem to be that great, but you have to remember PvP is not that important to many guys. So yeah, he's pretty good. This guy has no AoE, has no good damage, like at least he got base stats that are decent. But yeah, I'm not so happy with this guy. I basically ranked him pretty low, even under Knala. 7-8 boss, 8-2 PvE, 7-6 on PvP. So he's like the only bad epic hero, I would say. Also keep in mind, this guy is pretty great now, or was great all the time. The thing with him is he can, or he has 1 turn on his ultimate, and he also can wear the bone ball, which can heal himself. So the trait that he has with sacrificing his own HP can be neutralized by good items in late game. He can be really strong in PvE. I already made like a video a while ago about him, so definitely check him out if you're interested in him. And Candy Elemental, of course, pretty strong, and this guy is like not so good. I will not rank him, but actually I will add him in the list, but he's pretty low. For the blue heroes, I'm not about them right now. I will maybe add them later, but no time yet. So this is like my first impression rating on the heroes. If you like this format, please give like a little bit of feedback if I make stuff like this in the future, or if I just stick to it, that I wait a few days and then make the full tier list. But I will definitely make a tier list video later. But for now, this is it. The next video will not be the tier list. So if you're interested in the first impression ratings, that's it for today, and I will see you in my next video.